In this video, I'll be showing you what nobody tells people who are still working after 62 with over $1 million saved, and why every extra year of income might be costing you more than it earns. Through working with clients in this exact situation, I've discovered that continuing to work past 62 with significant savings doesn't build safety the way that most people think. It shrinks the strategic window that determines your tax bill for the next 30 years. And once those windows close, they don't reopen. That's exactly why I'm making this video today, to show you how every extra paycheck narrows your controller over IRMAA exposure, Roth conversion timing, ACA subsidies, and Social Security taxation, and why the years between 62 and 65 might be the most viable planning period that you've ever had. Let's get right into it. Why 2026 is creating a surge of mistimed conversions. Let's start with what's happening right now. What's got people rushing into Roth conversions? It's the big headline that everyone talks about. It's the Tax Cut and Jobs Act changes. But here's the reality. The one big beautiful bill, that act in 2025 made most of the individual tax provisions permanent. That means that the current seven-figure structure, 10%, 12%, 22, 24, 32, 35, 37, they stay in place with thresholds adjusted for inflation. No big jump back to pre-2018 rates like 15%, 25%, or 28% for those middle brackets. The top tier remains at 37%, not 39.6%. So why the surge of conversions anyway? Well, a lot of fear and headlines from earlier years lingered. People read about the sunset and think that rates are coming. Those higher rates are on the way. And so they're converting aggressively to lock in today's lower tax brackets. But many of those are mistimed because they're focusing only on the bracket story and ignoring the fuller picture. IRMAA, ACA subsidies, Social Security stacking, and their personal low income window. Rushing without modeling can backfire hard. Now, a conversion that looks great on paper for bracket savings can easily blow through IRMAA thresholds. Those start around $109,000 for a single person, $218,000 joint for 2026 look-back years. A conversion can wipe out ACA premium tax credits worth $15,000 to $25,000 plus per year for couples that are on marketplace plans, or stack income in a way that makes more of Social Security taxable if benefits have started. So fear of higher future rates pushes people to convert too much too fast without checking where the income actually lands relative to those other penalties. I've seen retirees convert based on headlines, and then they get hit with surprise Medicare surcharges or lost subsidies that cost more than any tax bracket savings they may have gained. Smart ones model their own situation first. They don't chase the panic. So 2026 is driving a conversion rush, but smart retirees know the timing matters more than the rate. Let me show you what we're looking for. Next, the perfect Roth window. Low income, no Social Security, pre-Medicare. The most valuable Roth conversion window has three key conditions that all need to line up. Low taxable income from other sources, no Social Security benefit started yet, and you're still pre-Medicare, under 65. Low income means you can fill those cheaper brackets, 10%, 12%, maybe even 22%, without bumping into higher ones or crossing penalty lines. No Social Security in the mix means your conversion dollars don't stack on top of benefit income and trigger up to 85% taxable on the benefit itself through provisional income. Now, pre-Medicare keeps the conversion income from showing up in the 2-year IRMAA look back. So you avoid locking in those higher Part B and Part D surcharges when enrollment hits. All three together create the cleanest, lowest cost opportunity to get that money, move that money to a Roth. And that means tax-free growth forever. No future RMDs from that amount, no IRMAA drag, no benefit taxation ripple. Miss even one condition and the trade-offs eat the benefit. Low income, but post-Social Security, the conversion pushes provisional income higher, taxing more of your benefit. Now, pre-Medicare, but higher income from other sources, brackets, they're going to fill before your conversion dollars even enter. So you're paying more upfront than you need to. The retirees who capture the maximum value, they wait until all three of these things align perfectly, not the ones who convert the second they retire just because they can. So that perfect window really requires all three of those conditions. Now let me show you why the optimal age often falls between 63 and 65. For most retirees, the sweet spot lands right around ages 63 to 65. For 63, most have been out of the workforce long enough that earned income is gone. No more W-2 filing, taking up the low brackets. Social Security claiming is still fully optional. You can delay to 67 or 70, keeping that benefit income out of the picture during the conversion period. And Medicare doesn't start until 65. So conversions at 63 and 64, they give you a clean shot to size them without immediate IRMAA look-back exposure when you enroll. This 2 to 3 year stretch is often the only time all three of those conditions, low income, no Social Security, pre-Medicare, often the only time they fully align for maximum leverage. So how should you size those conversions in this window? First, you're going to fill out that 12% or 22% bracket each year, roughly up to $50,000 for a single person, $100,000 joint for 12%, and then up to $105,000 single to 11 joint before 24% kicks in the 2026 thresholds. Now, fill up the bracket and avoid crossing into the next one. Map every dollar against IRMAA tiers, starting around $109,000 single, $218,000 joint. This helps to keep Medicare premiums standard once your enrollment hits. Now, if you're on an ACA marketplace coverage before 65, stay below those subsidy cliffs to preserve those $15,000 to $25,000 a year of annual credits for a couple. Now, clients who nail this window, they arrive at 65 with low or no IRMAA, a meaningful reduced traditional IRA balance, that means smaller future RMDs, and a growing Roth bucket for tax-free income the rest of retirement. It's not about converting everything. It's about converting smart in the right years. Now that you see why 63, 65 really is that sweet spot, if you want help building your dream retirement as a whole, click the link below to watch my free training where I'll show you exactly how to optimize your retirement plan so you can apply this to your own situation. Now, what happens if you convert too early? Converting right at 60 or 61 immediately after leaving work often turns out to be a costly mistake. At 60, other income sources, deferred comp, lingering bonuses, investment income haven't fully wound down. A big conversion spikes your AGI in a year that's already higher than ideal. That can eliminate ACA premium tax credits worth $15,000 to $24,000 a year for couples and that aren't yet on Medicare. And that's real cash flow lost. It can also create IRMAA look-back exposure if you enroll in Medicare early. That income from 60 shows up 2 years later as a surcharge that you can't undo. And if the spouse has already claimed Social Security, the conversion can push household provisional income over thresholds, making more of that benefit subject to tax. Early conversions can worsen the survivor trap too, paying taxes now at married rates to build Roth. But if the surviving spouse faces compressed single brackets later, the Roth might not fully offset that higher tax on remaining traditional RMDs or income. Many get excited about being done working, and they convert impulsively at 60 without modeling the full 60 to 90 timeline. Years later, they realize waiting 2 to 3 years would have preserved subsidies, avoided surcharges, and produced a better net income. So converting too early can cost more than waiting. So what happens if you convert too late? Waiting past 65 or pushing conversions closer to 73. This runs headfirst into Medicare and RMD collisions. Once Medicare starts at 65, any conversion amount hits your MAGI immediately for that 2-year look back. Convert at 66, that income on your 2026 return triggers surcharges at 68. No appeal, no fix. It stacks right on top of the other income, pushing premiums higher. If Social Security is started, conversion dollars stack on benefit income, sparking provisional income, spiking it higher and making more of those taxable. By 73, if the traditional balance hasn't been reduced, RMDs are going to kick in, often $50,000, $100,000 plus annually, depending on the account size, forcing income whether you need it or not. That forced payout really fills some of those lower brackets. It triggers IRMAA. It triggers taxes more on Social Security automatically. Now, trying to convert on top of taking those RMDs, your total income skyrockets, making each conversion dollar far more expensive than what it would have been earlier. Many who wait too long find that the math no longer works. They can't convert meaningfully without massive upfront tax hits. So converting too late collides with RMDs and Medicare. Now let me show you how to use age as a window instead of a trigger. Most people treat retirement age like a trigger. I stopped working, time to start converting. Smart retirees treat it like a window. They identify those specific years when conditions align perfectly and they execute only then. The trigger approach is emotional, excitement about retiring, fear about future rates, leading to mistimed moves. The window approach is math driven. Map when you have low income, no Social Security, and pre-Medicare overlap. Factor in your pre-claiming age, your Medicare start, other income sources, IRMA thresholds, ACA cliffs, and brackets. And now find that personal window. First, project income year by year from 60 to 73. Forecast remaining earned income, investments, and plan withdrawals. Second, spot the years with the lowest total income where all three conditions line up. Third, model conversion amounts each year against IRMA, ACA, and bracket limits. Size the conversions to fill lower tiers without crossing penalty lines. Retirees who run this model before acting, they get a multi-year strategy that really maximizes value. It means lower cost conversions, preserved subsidies, controlled IRMA, smaller future RMDs. The impulsive ones, they leave money on the table or trigger avoidable hits. Age isn't the trigger, it's the window. Use it wisely. Now that you've seen why 2026 is creating a surge of mistimed Roth conversions, why the perfect window requires low income, no Social Security, and pre-Medicare status, why 63 to 65 is often the optimal age for most retirees, what happens if you convert too early and lose ACA subsidies or create spouse taxation problems? What happens if you convert too late and collide with RMDs and Medicare, and how to use age as a window instead of a trigger? You can stop rushing to convert based on headlines and start identifying the specific years when conversions actually help instead of hurt. If you want help building your dream retirement, click the link below to watch my free training where I'll show you exactly how to structure your Roth conversion strategy for maximum control. I'll see you in the next video.